The father of economics, Adam Smith, defined the concept of economics in his famous book, An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations. He analyzed the basic economic factors that can help a nation to build its wealth, thereby giving the concept of development economics. He has, however, did not propound the systematic theory of development, and this was left for the economists of later years. Over the years, development economics has emerged as a separate branch of economics which specifically deals with the developmental issues of middle and low income countries. Its subject matter has changed over the years. For instance, in the decade of 1960s-70s, the developmental economists were preoccupied with deciding the superiority of state-controlled or market-owned economies, which shifted the debate over the traditional industries or the modern sector encompassing globalization in 1980s and 90s. In the recent years, it has emerged as a holistic concept to define objectives and economic policies for the emerging countries. In order to build the understanding of development economics, we will begin with the theory of Adam Smith. In his theory, he has explicitly focused on 6 broad areas which are defined as A. Determinant factors of economic development, that is nature law or laissez-faire policy. Second, division of labor and market perfection. And third, capital accumulation is the engine of growth. B. Policy of balanced growth. C. Human resources or capital and economic development. D. Legends of development. E. Process of growth. F. Static state. The above mentioned 6 major areas are described at length in the following section. After studying this module, you shall be able to understand the determinant factors of economic development, understand human resources and economic development, and analyze the merits and demerits of Adam Smith theory. Let us now understand the determinant factors of economic development. Economic development is based on several factors. However, Adam Smith has classified and defined the following 3 major factors as determinants of economic development for low and middle income countries. The first is natural law. Smith believed that the growth and economic development can only be possible in an independent and free environment. Any restriction or interference with the economic activity checks or stops the process of economic development. He supports the obvious and simple system of natural liberty. According to Smith, every individual is the best caretaker of his interests, and any kind of intervention that prevents the individual from carrying out the self-interest thing may not lead to good market outcomes. Adam Smith strongly supported the policy of free trade and laissez-faire, that is minimum intervention in economic activities. He asserted the existence of invisible hand or a system that brings about the equilibrium in perfectly competitive market and hence maximizes the national output. The second is division of labor and market perfection. Division of labor is the beginning point of the theory of economic growth. According to Smith, the development of a nation depends upon its level of production and quantity of output being produced, that further depends upon the division of labor. The division of labor ensures the right placement of the workforce, which enhances the total productivity. The benefits that an economy can derive from the division of its labor force can be listed out as follows. First, increased skill of each labor. Second, saves time in the production of the product. Third, introduction of new innovations. And fourth, increment in the productivity. According to Smith, an economic model for development of the economies should be competitive in nature. Existence of any form of monopolistic tendencies or monopoly and malpractices can act as an inhibitor for the process of development. The third is capital accumulation, which is the engine of growth. According to Smith, the growth of any society depends upon its capital accumulation, which acts as an engine of growth. Capital accumulation reflects the productive capacity of any economic system, and it further depends upon the real savings of the society. Also, according to him, judicial expenses increase capital accumulation. In an economic system, the factor payments are made to four factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, in the form of rent, wages, interest and profits. It would be unjust to expect savings from the laborers, as the amount they receive in the form of wages is barely enough for their subsistence and is largely spent on their consumption. Therefore, savings should be channelized from the remaining factors of the production as given below. First, wages. According to Smith, it is the capitalists and landlords who can do savings and not the workers, as the wages earned by them are just enough to meet their basic requirements. Second is profit. Profit is the reward for bearing the risk. The level of profits can be enhanced by the expansion of economic activity that depends upon the investment of savings. Third, interest. Interest is the reward for the capital invested in the economic activity. According to Smith, due to increment in the prosperity, development, progress and population, the rate of interest decline so as to increase the supply of capital. Fourth, rent. Rent is the reward for the use of land for any economic activity. Smith thought that with the process of development, it is also possible that there will be increment of monetary and real rent. Rent as a proportion of national income can also increase national income. Now we will discuss balanced development policy. Adam Smith was indeed a strong supporter of industrialization. He, however, did not undermine the importance of agricultural and small-scale industries in the initial stages of development. In order to achieve the sustained growth in the long run, it is crucial to adopt the policy of balanced development in the starting phase of development, which focus on all the sectors of the economy, that is agriculture, industries and trade and service sector, rather than focusing only on the industrial sector. In the process of development, Smith favored the growth and development of the agricultural sector in the first stage, followed by the industrial sector in the second stage, and in the last, the trade and service, which can be presented as follows. Further, Smith also understood the role of externalities in the process of development. Next, we shall discuss about human resource and economic development. According to Adam Smith, human resource or labor is an active factor of development. He clearly indicates that labor is that treasure which provides all the facilities and necessities for annual consumption to nation. Keeping in view the deficiency of capital, capital output ratio must be maintained so that the rate of development may not get slowed down. Low standard population, however, must necessarily be controlled. Moving on to understand the legend of development. According to Adam Smith, Following are the legend for economic development of any society. First, farmers, then traders, then producer. It is impossible to attain economic growth without the presence of these three economic legends, as their presence is the prerequisite for the process of capital accumulation and economic development. Also, as per the understanding of Smith, the working of these three is closely interrelated to each other and none of them can work in isolation. Next, we will study about development process. In the opinion of Smith, the process of economic development is a continuous, regular and cumulative process. The growth and development of agriculture, industries and commerce brings about the changes in the various macroeconomic and developmental variables. A few of these macroeconomic and developmental variables are listed below, which are capital accumulation, technical progress, expansion of market, population growth, division of labor and increase in profits. A word of caution is that the changes continue to occur in the above mentioned variables with the process of economic development. However, this process of change does not continue at the same level. Let us now discuss about the static state. The above said process of development will continue till the time economy has not developed its resources fully. Once the economy has developed its resources fully, then the following changes can take place in the economic variables. 1. Competition between laborers is likely to bring the wage rate down at the subsistence level. And second, competition between traders can reduce their profit levels. Once the reduction in the level of profit begins, it will continue further and it will lead to the first, reduction in increment, second, capital accumulation stops, third, population becomes static, fourth, profits reach to minimum level, fifth, wage rate reduced at minimum levels, sixth, per capita income becomes static, seventh, economy reached at a static condition and Smith called this condition as static state. Explanation of the Adam-Smith model by the diagram. On the x-axis time period and on the y-axis rate of capital accumulation, that is dk by dt, is taken. Economy grows till t time from k to s. Once obtaining the position t, economy reaches to its static state. This is because rent became so high that profit became zero and hence capital accumulation stops. Now we will discuss the merits of the Adam-Smith's theory. Adam-Smith model has indicated the following features of development which are necessary for the development of any economy, that is savings, capital formation, market expansion, free trade policy and balanced growth. In the opinion of Adam-Smith, improved technology has special importance for economic development. The use of technology enhances division of labor force and expansion of market, which further induces the production. The above mentioned points can be explained as follows. First is savings. Saving is very essential for the process of economic development, as savings lead to capital accumulation, which enhances the productive capacity of resources. Second is capital formation. Adam Smith assumed capital accumulation as a main factor of economics of development, which can be elaborated with the help of the diagram. That is, high capital accumulation leads to increasing capital formation, which enhances the rate of economic development. Third, expansion of market. The increasing rate of economic development will enhance the employment opportunities, thereby providing income to individuals, which in turn will increase the purchasing capacity of individuals and increase the aggregate demand, thus leading to expansion of the market. Fourth, laissez-faire policy. This approach of Adam Smith is relevant in many areas, for instance, international trade and production in the private sector. This refers to minimum intervention of the government in the economic activities. Fifth, balanced growth. According to Adam Smith, there exists an interdependency among farmers, traders and producers which is crucial for the process of economic development. The interrelationship between the three can be understood as the expansion in the agricultural produce will provide increased amount of raw materials to industries. The expansion of industries will further encourage trade and commerce. Therefore, balanced growth is required for the development of commerce and manufacturing industries, therefore for the entire process of development. Smith principally viewed economic development as a process embedded in and limited by particular physical, institutional and social environment. More specifically, Smith conceives of economic development as the filling up with people and physical stock of capital of a spatial container, which is a country that encompasses a given endowment of natural resources and is shaped internally and bounded externally by laws and institutions. Next, we shall discuss the demerits of the theory. The theory propounded by Adam Smith is criticized on the following grounds. First, rigid division of society. This theory of Smith divides society into two parts which are as follows. One, the capitalist or the landlord class, and second, the labor class or the landless class. It is, however, wrong to assume that the existence of only two classes in the real world, but there also exists a third class known as the middle class, and this class cannot be neglected. Second, one-side saving base. According to Smith, only capitalists and landlords, that is money lenders, saves money, but this was not true always, because even working class also saves money. Third, perfect competition is unrealistic assumption. Fourth, negligence of public sector due to his policy of laissez-faire. Smith fails to explain the role of public sector in the capital accumulation and economic development. In these days, there is growth of public sector in every country which is helpful in capital formation. Fifth, negligence of industry and entrepreneurship. Smith neglected the important factors such as industry and entrepreneurship, but in reality, entrepreneur organized all the factors and they brought new innovations which formed capital and development. Sixth, unrealistic assumption of static state. Seventh, static model. According to Hicks, Smith model is a static model because this model do not give any sequence of development for the less developed countries. Moving on to understand the significance of Adam Smith model in less developed countries. The significance of Smith's model is quite limited in less developed countries because of various reasons. A few of them are listed below. First, market size is small, limited. The size of the market in less developed countries is small, which does not provide the economies of scale, and therefore the production is no longer profitable. Second, saving capacity is low. Savings are very essential for capital formation, which is needed for the process of economic development. In less developed countries, however, the capacity of individuals to save is low, which restricts the economic development. Third, lack of induced investments because the level of profit is low in these economies. There is lack of induced investments in less developed countries owing to lower levels of profit, and this acts as a barrier in the process of growth and economic development. Fourth, the size of the markets depends upon level of income and output produced. The size of the market in an economic system depends on the level of income and production of the society, since in less developed countries the level of income and output is less, and therefore the size of market also tends to be small. Fifth, productivity is low. Due to low level of savings, there is lack of capital formation, which lowers down the productivity of the economic system. Sixth, level of income is low due to low productivity. Owing to the low level of savings, capital formation and productivity, the size of income also tends to be on the lower side in less developed countries. 7. Vicious circles of poverty applied from both demand side and supply side. In less developed countries, there exists vicious circle of poverty from both demand and supply side. Owing to various factors such as low level of savings, investments, etc., there tends to be low level of productivity and therefore low level of employment. This again leads to the problem of poverty in less developed countries. Due to the above mentioned reasons, Smith's theory based on division of labor and size of the market does not apply on less developed nations. He further argued on the basis of following grounds. First, that perfect competition does not exist in these nations. Second, the market structures are imperfect in these nations. In the opinion of Smith, without the interference of the government, development in free economic activities is impossible, and therefore it is essential for the government to interfere in the economic activities of the state. Besides all this, the model of Smith told us about some factors which can enhance the process of development in less developed countries, that is savings, balanced growth, and third is the three legends stated by Smith for underdeveloped countries, which are farmers, producers and traders. These three legends increase the production in their own sector and are helpful in capital accumulation and development of the nation. In the absence of free trade market systems, the government can also help in increasing the production by giving economic assistance. Now, I am going to summarize what we have learnt in this module. The father of economics, Adam Smith, defined the concept of economics in his famous book, An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of the Nations, in the year 1776 as the study of wealth. Economic development is based on several factors. However, Adam Smith has classified and defined the three major factors as determinants of economic development for low and middle income countries. Adam Smith was indeed a strong supporter of industrialization. He, however, did not undermine the importance of agricultural and small-scale industries in the initial stages of development. In order to achieve the sustained growth in the long run, it is crucial to adopt the policy of balanced development in the starting phase of development, which focus on all the sectors of the economy, that is agriculture, industries and trade and services sector, rather than focusing only on the industrial sector. The significance of Smith's model is quite limited in the less developed countries because of various reasons.